This yogurt-producing factory works 24 hours a day. Milk comes from 14 regions of Russia. In 24 hours, the factory processes about 900 tons. I'm facing a real challenge. I need to accept some milk. I won't have to milk cows, as it's already been done. The milk comes in a milk truck like that. To accept it, it's necessary to screw loose this hose and connect it to this drain spigot. Unscrew and take it there, like that. Now, with the help of the threaded joint, we fasten the hose to the spigot itself. By the way, this cistern's capacity is 24 tons of milk. About 60 milk trucks like that come here every day. Okay. That's it, fastened. We can start draining off. A sample is taken from every cistern and sent to the laboratory, where they check whether the milk complies with the quality standard. Specialists take a dozen tests to check quantitative content of fat and proteins, acidity, as well as harmful substances.
If milk happens to be of inappropriate quality, we will not accept it, as we won't be able to make what we want from it. Such milk will be sent back to the supplier.
The word yogurt comes from the Turkish language and means condensed. It is believed that yogurt originated in Southwest Asia. Long ago, nomads transported milk on baggage animals. Bacteria from the air and hair of horses and donkeys got into the product. Fermentation started because of heat. Constant vibration put the lid on, transforming the milk into a thick, sour drink. It didn't go off for a long time, preserving all of its useful properties. In Europe, yogurt became popular because of King Louis VI's ailment. He suffered from indigestion. Some doctor from Constantinople treated the French king with the help of Balkan yogurt. After laboratory tests, the milk gets into tanks for unpasteurized milk.
Why are such tanks necessary? That's because we don't make milk sour directly. We separate it into two fractions. Look here, that's the equipment which...
A UFO!
Yes, it's a separator which divides the unpasteurized milk into skimmed milk and cream.
In a sectional view, the separator is a set of spinning discs on the central axis. These plates gain the speed of up to 10,000 revolutions per minute. The milk which gets into the machine starts spinning with the same speed. Under the action of centrifugal force and gravity, the cream, being a light fraction, moves to the center. The milk, being a heavier fraction, gathers on the edges of the drum, and then it's removed through special hoses. Is that a centrifuge?
Yes, it's based on the same idea.
So, all in this room, all this equipment, are those separators?
Here are three stations.
3 stations.
3 stations. We call them MSD among ourselves. It's equipped with a separator, a pasteurizer, and a heat exchange unit, of course. After separation, each of the ingredients, skimmed milk and cream, is cooled to the preserving temperature and gets into tanks.
After separation, milk and cream set off on their many kilometers-long journey through the factory's pipelines. Most interesting, then the two components are mixed again, but in a specific proportion. Besides milk and cream, yogurt has other ingredients, white powders.
This is a sour milk product with increased content of solids, with increased content of protein. In production, different additives can be used, different ones. And as for products like buttermilk, curdled milk, according to the professional regulations, nothing can be added to them.
Coming up in additives, which white powders does yogurt contain? Why is red algae added? How does the yogurt factory's processing center work? In the powder ingredient shop floor, the powders necessary for its production are added into the yogurt. Besides fresh milk, powdered milk is used as well. It is used as an additional source of protein and makes yogurt thicker as well. Special additives, stabilizers, provide for its homogeneous consistency.
In the process of storing the product, its consistency changes, of course. If nothing is added, whey will separate off 9 days later for sure. And stabilizers, pectin, starch, they delay the process. To move the expiry date forward, not to let the whey separate off, as in the process of storage, the fermented milk gel contracts anyway, and the whey separates by itself.
One of the most popular stabilizers used to make yogurt is carrageenans. They are labeled E407. This additive is a natural thickening agent obtained from red algae. Carrageenans originated in the 9th century. Since then, they have been widely used to produce gels. Among the main suppliers of this stabilizer are the Philippines, Indonesia, Chile, the USA, Canada, and France, the countries with access to warm waters. Dry ingredients, cream and milk, are transferred to the production shop floor. There, in accordance with the formula, they are mixed. By the way, people do not participate in the process. Production is fully automatic. Supervisors control the work of the machines.
Everything is in the program here. Formulae. We monitor any changes in temperature, pasteurization, control pH of aging, acidity.
Well, judging by the number of pipelines, machines, and noise level, we are in some very important place. Am I right?
Yes, in fact, this is the most important place here. That's the main process. It's here that all yogurt and curd cheese production processes are concentrated.
Closed-type production process is necessary to ensure that the product doesn't come into contact with the external environment. After milk and cream are blended in the specific ratio and addition of the dry ingredients, the mixture is pasteurized.
After pasteurization, the mixture is cooled, homogenized. While the homogenization process is forcing the mixture through holes small enough at the pressure of 200 to 300 bars. This is a very high pressure. It's done to break up fat globules in the milk.
And it turns out into some kind of foam, does it?
It doesn't become foam, it becomes uniform. It does not contain any particles and so on.
After the mixture becomes consistent, starter cultures are added. These are living microorganisms which provide for the fermentation of the milk, and the yogurt obtains its specific taste and useful properties. In what way is yogurt different from other fermented milk products? They may seem similar, the same milk and bacteria. In fact, it's microorganisms which are starter cultures that matter.
In production of curd, cheese, and sour cream, they use the so-called lactococci, which sour the milk very actively. The second type of starter cultures used for yogurt, baked yogurt, ayran, mazzoni. These include Lactobacillus bulgaricus, Lactobacillus lactic acid bacteria, Streptococcus thermophilus.
In the laboratory of the Institute for Dairy Industry, they store about 1,500 strains of lactic acid bacteria. This collection has been built over the past 50 years and it's constantly updated.
Well, in fact, lactic acid bacteria come from soil, from plants, cottage fermented products, cottage sour cream. We can take ayrans and other fermented products. They separate specific bacterial colonies to breeding ground, which we then put through the milk. and we choose the strains which have good processing behavior, organoleptical properties, for them to actively sour the milk.
Технологическим свойствам, по органолептике, чтобы они активно сквашивали молоко.
Obtaining new lactic acid bacteria is necessary to improve yogurt properties, such as consistency, taste, and storage time. The search for a perfect milk dessert recipe is still underway. Yogurt bacterial population was first described by a Bulgarian medical student. In 1905, he told the whole world it consists of one rod-shaped and one spherical lactic acid bacteria. The rod-shaped bacteria were called Lactobacillus bulgaricus, after Bulgaria, where it was discovered, and the spherical one, Streptococcus thermophilus. Cultivation or buildup of bacteria starts with bringing the microorganisms into the breeding ground. It is rich in substances necessary for breeding Streptococcus. Among other favorable conditions for breeding bacteria are constant temperature and the breeding ground's acidity level.
This is like water bath here, where the temperature is constant, and now we attach electrodes, temperature sensors, accordingly, neutralizers, and this is a temperature sensor. Here are the sterile needles. We'll add neutralizing solution to support the necessary level of active acidity.
After 8 hours in the water bath, the number of bacteria has grown a lot. They can be seen with the naked eye. The solution becomes cloudy. After that, the bacteria are put into a centrifuge to separate the biomass from the remains of the breeding ground. Then the bacteria are dried. The culture gets to manufacturers, usually in the form of such tabs. Coming up in additives. Which Nobel Prize winner is famous for his love of yogurt? Besides fruit, what gives the product its taste and color? Where do the most dedicated yogurt fans live? The connection between regular consuming of yogurt and longevity was found about 100 years ago by the Russian scientist Ilya Mechnikov. Having examined and questioned many supercentenarians in Russia and Asia, he found out that these people ate a lot of curded milk and yogurt. The scientists concluded that lactic acid bacteria inhibit the decay and fermentation in the intestines. That's the longevity secret. I hope we'll also live to it. Till the end of his life, Mechnikov ate sour milk products daily, and owing to him, yogurt became extremely popular in Russia.
Mechnikov concluded that sour milk, well, in particular this Lactobacillus bulgaricus, provide positive effect on humans' gut flora and propagated consumption of sour milk products. Well, Mechnikov's ideas were picked up and production started. In Russia, by the way, we have a similar product, Mechnikov's curdled milk. It has been produced for a long time. Yet, the only difference between Mechnikov's curdled milk and yogurt is content of dry, non-fat milk substances.
Yogurt differs from other sour milk products in that it may contain different fillers, which make it a tasty dessert.
Into yogurt are added chocolate chips and vegetable and cereal. So it's a kind of international product, like it's produced with different additives both abroad and in Russia. It must have live bacterial flora, not less than 10 to the power of 7 per 1 gram. That's why it is called a sour milk product. One can call it a dessert.
There are hundreds of different fillers for yogurt: guava, tea rose, white chocolate, celery, beetroot. The taste range is endless. At the factory, fruit fillers are kept in separate premises. Apparently, by the look of it, the fruit shop floor does not correspond to its tasty name. Yet, it smells great here. The thing is that in these tanks, they store jam to be added into yogurts. In this one is banana, for example. Strawberry and pear are here. I wish they weren't closed so tightly. Shall I try my luck with this one? Or that one? Fruit filler is, in essence, jam, but very concentrated. That's why you won't manage to eat it with a spoon.
We buy fruit from suppliers. We have over 5 of them. It's like usual jam. The fruit filler consists of the fruit itself, juices, fruit mash with pieces of fruit, without pieces of fruit. Natural corn flour is added to make the structure of the fruit filling of certain viscosity, so that it could get to the machine by the pipeline.
Fruit fillers also include food colors and flavoring agents, most often non-natural.
Well, natural, pomace directly from berries, vegetables, pepper food color. It's really obtained from pepper and by chemical means. These are chemical reactions. They study the content of the natural product and choose the proper non-natural chemical compounds, which together will give this color. That's the work for laboratories, big chemical laboratories.
Artificial colors are cheaper. Their production requires less synthetic pigment than natural. Besides, synthetic compounds are resistant to acids, which are contained in yogurt in large amounts.
All natural colors, flavors, fruit fillers, they are very small. They have a small life cycle. Yet it must be said that sour milk products, which contain a lot of lactic acid, it's aggressive environment. That's why often we faced problems when natural yogurt with natural blueberry did not look, frankly speaking, mouth-watering. Our strawberry or wild strawberry also become grain color because of lactic acid, which is a natural component.
The first scientific research of functional properties of Lactobacillus bulgaricus and sour milk was brought to Russia in the beginning of the 20th century. But production of yogurt was first launched in Europe. In the Soviet Union, yogurt was brought by occasional tourists. In the 1980s in our country, they started to produce fruit buttermilk labeled fruit yogurt. Sometime later, supplies of the authentic yogurt we still love started. By the way, in terms of love to the product, it is Finland that ranks first. It is estimated that the Finnish consume 35 kilograms of yogurt per year per person. Coming up in Additives, how does Rowan help extend yogurt's shelf life? What natural preservative is contained in milk? How many yogurt products does a factory produce? The shelf life of modern yogurts is quite long, about a month. That's possible owing to the sterility at all production stages and high quality of the raw material. The law bans the use of preservatives. These additives can only be added to fruit filler for yogurt. Sorbic acid, or E200, is one of the most popular preservatives. This substance was first obtained in the middle of the 19th century from rowan juice. By the way, the acid was named after the berries. Sorbus in Latin means rowan. It's a proven fact that this additive is easily digested and is not toxic. But in case of excessive consumption, it leads to vitamin B12 breakdown. Another popular preservative is E234 Nissin. It's an antibiotic formed as a result of fermentation of Streptococcus lactis. This lactic acid bacterium inhibits harmful microorganisms without damaging bacteria in the starter. According to the law, the yogurt label must provide information about what preservative was added. Compliance of the content provided by the manufacturer with the real content is checked at a special laboratory at the Institute for Dairy Industry.
Last year was the most, so to speak, the peak of testing sour milk products from the shelf. When we did complex analysis for colors, flavors, preservatives, and unfortunately, a big amount of produce was rejected because of high content of preservatives.
Sometimes they find preservatives in yogurt which were not added in the course of manufacturing. It is explained by the fact that milk contains natural substances which have antibacterial and antifungal effect.
The milk, cow milk, contains a number of compounds which are formed in the animal's life process. Benzoic acid is one of such compounds, part of animal nitrogen metabolism. It doesn't mean it is there in big amounts, that it's a preservative, but the law stipulates that it's not allowed to be there. Even 0.1 is not acceptable.
So, in case the benzoic acid is found in the product, it takes a lot of time for the manufacturer to prove that the preservative appeared there naturally. We are in the packaging area. All the necessary ingredients come to such machines. Yogurt, fillers of all kinds. They are filled in plastic cups. There are 16 lines. On this line, for example, strawberry yogurt is being filled now. At the stage of packing, everything is done by robots. Some of them look like aliens from the future. Usual plastic cups in which yogurt is filled are also produced here. They are stamped from a sheet of food-grade plastic using hot presses. As a result, the complete product comes off the conveyor. All stages of production take about 48 hours. Before going to the shops, the product is sent for testing in the laboratory. As far as I know, it's time for the most interesting, my favorite moment, the tasting.
Yes.
I figured that out when I saw the spoons and opened yogurt cups.
Yes.
You do it every day, don't you?
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Tell me about it.
Well, first of all, we make the visual assessment. I mean that yogurt or curd cheese must be homogeneous. That's it. Homogeneous both in its consistency and its color. Well, without particles, without whey.
Yeah? Without a sort of liquid?
Yes, without the liquid above. This all is stipulated in the specifications. Then we check the gustatory qualities. I mean that if yogurt is natural, it's sugarless, without any colors, fruit fillers.
So we taste it.
We taste it and estimate it.
That means that it turns out to be a matter of taste. Someone likes it, someone doesn't.
No, there are specifications where all is stipulated.
And what is written there? Slightly sour or what?
No, not just slightly sour, the taste of the natural yogurt.
Yeah?
The taste conforming to this product. That means that for fruit, curd, cheese, for example, the taste conforms to the filler.
Yeah, the taste of fruit, yes?
Well, and the color, yes, respectively conforms to the filler. That's kiwi fruit, for example. It's green with seeds, no particles, no liquid. Let's taste.
Well, I also have green, also with seeds, homogeneous. Well, to the taste,
Kiwi fruit?
kiwi fruit.
Kiwi fruit.
If experts expose some deficiency, there is a taste mixture or some ingredients that are not prescribed in a recipe occur in the product, then this yogurt batch is rejected. One would think yogurt, nothing special, but this factory has 120 names of it. The factory outputs 700 tons of this sour milk product every day, and if we convert it in such bottles, we'll get about 5 million of them, and one of them I need to taste indeed.